The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Is brought to you by Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, providing first-class construction services on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. All right, sports concepts and rationalizations coming your way. Right now, we call it the 10-minute drill. At the end of the drill, Beef, what are we doing?
Well, Dan, we're going to take a little road trip.
Okay.
Maybe out west, maybe a lovely place you could stay.
Oh, no.
Such a lovely place.
Oh, we're heading to the Hotel California, eh?
Perhaps.
Wonderful.
Our winner at the end of the 10-minute drill today going to take home a pair of tickets for Classic Albums Live, doing the greatest hits of the Eagles, coming up in April at the Florida Theater. You can get your tickets at the Florida Theater box office or just be today's lucky Guggen listener in just a few minutes.
I have to say, Praz, I don't take glee in this, but it struck me because you're such an NBA guy, and you love the association. You watch it all the time. And you were telling us, me and my BFF Beef, that the unfortunate part of the All-Star thing was that our guys weren't going to get into the All-Star game.
I believe y'all agreed with me.
No question.
Yeah.
Because you rattled off the names. I was like, man, that is going to be tough.
It was tough sledding, man.
There was a guy. Who was the guy right next to Julius Randle in the stats? I can't even remember. So I was like, oh, well, that stinks. But more importantly, the Knicks had a chance to get to 500 again last night and blew it. But that's neither here nor there. But
so you're going to point out again, my team has blown a lead going into the fourth?
Well, I mean, it's unbelievable how it works. No, it's not just that.
That's 9 now.
I was listening to you this morning. Did your guy not make the All-Star team?
No.
I mean, you had assumed he was on, right?
27 points, 9.6 assists a game. He should.
But the
game's in Atlanta.
But here's what's. What's even more amazing. Like yesterday, I was just I saw Randall made it. I said, "Oh, it's great." And I saw Levine, and I chided Beef yesterday for not being a Zach Levine guy. And I saw
a Zach supporter all along.
I saw he made it. I was like, "All right, good for Beef."
Day one, Zach stand.
And then I looked at and then I looked at like everybody freaking out. But not about Trae Young, about Devin Booker, who didn't make it. So I didn't even assume that Trae Young didn't make it till I hear you trying to spin it this morning, and it kind of struck me. So
I think he should be on the All-Star team.
I'm watching.
He's one of the best 20 players in the league by a mile.
Yeah, I'm watching.
I don't get it.
And so last night, I told you this earlier in the break, the Hawks are the unbelievable team. Every time I look up at a scoreboard, the Hawks are winning. And so they're beating Cleveland. I'm like, oh, they're finally going to – because I think they lost to Cleveland.
Yeah, they did at home. They blew a 17-point
so
fourth quarter lead.
They're finally going to beat Cleveland. And then I look up late last night.
They blew the game. They played no defense.
Unbelievable. They lost again.
They're also – and again, whatever. I mean, I'm sure all the teams around the league have injury issues. But
sure.
I mean, we're missing the guys that we thought would be major contributors. We haven't had our team together yet. We're 30 games in.
But the biggest shot of the night was by Luka.
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
Knocked down a game winner.
It was
dagger.
so reminiscent of the one he hit in the bubble to beat the Clippers.
Same spot,
it looked like almost the exact same spot.
Yeah, so anyway, Dallas beat Boston.
Luka, a starter. To further that, though, Trae Young, a starter in the All-Star game last year.
Yeah.
He's better this year than he was last year.
Is it because of the record, then, I assume?
It is.
Must be, right?
Yeah, it is.
And look,
whenever you have stats on a bad team, they just tell – look, Bradley Beal didn't make the All-Star team last year. That's a bigger snub.
Yeah.
So, But
there's always going to be.
This is why, Dan, players don't stay in Atlanta. This is why Giannis should have left Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
If Trae Young is playing in a major market, he's on this team. If he played for Chicago or the Knicks and had these numbers, he'd be on the team. Well, Devin Booker's not on the team. How's he not on?
He can come to New York.
Here's the thing, too, though, and it's a fair point. If you're going to say somebody's a snub, then you got to let me know who you're going to scrub.
Right. There's a lot of good players. That's the point. And
but Ben Simmons is a joke, dude. I'm tired of Ben Simmons. Why is he on the All-Star team?
Well, they're the number one team in the East.
So what?
Well, that matters. He's the focal point, him and Embiid.
Yeah, Ben Simmons is the most overrated basketball player of my life.
Okay.
I believe that. The guy's averaging 15 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You got a guy that can't shoot the basketball being recognized as a top player. He can't shoot. I mean, so, yeah, Ben Simmons way overrated, man. Van Vliet should be on instead of him. Chris Middleton should be on. Chris Middleton's having a career year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like I guess what's disappointing is And Trae Young could not be on the team. I don't really care. You know, if Trae Young's an all-star, hit a shot last night in the minute, we'll win, all right? So I'm not going to cry for him not making it. I'm really not. But there are other guys. It's interesting how the career year translated for Randall and Levine. Yeah. But it didn't translate for Middleton or some of the others.
I learned something last night that could be a portend of things to come not so good for Danny Boy.
Oh.
I learned, if I'm honest with myself, that I have not watched near enough college basketball. I'm not near ready to fill out the sheet. And the sheets, usually there's a dime bet involved with the sheets.
Yeah, there is.
Right, don't be last again. That's kind of how we do it.
Although I think we usually determine it's not a spin. I think we determine what the penalty is before, don't we?
Is it? I don't know.
I think that's what we did because it's the same for all of us.
Because Beef's involved in that one as well. But here's what I've learned as I watched. I settled in. I was down there at work last night, and I got back from out at the TPC, which, gosh, don't ever take the TPC for granted. When you go out there, the sun was setting. It was a beautiful night. The orange palm trees in the sky, and I'm like, oh, my God, it's so beautiful. God's majesty right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. But anyway, I digress.
No.
Beef, I almost needed.
Fortifying.
I almost needed a little more Kenny Rogers right there. I'm feeling misty-eyed this morning.
Lady.
But nonetheless, so I'm watching Texas and Kansas play hoops.
Okay.
And I'm like, who's that dude stomping on the sidelines coaching Texas?
Yeah, Shaka. He
And
let his hair grow out. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
Didn't know
so
that.
That's a bad.
And he had the mask on.
So what that's told me is you haven't watched enough.
Yeah.
I said, hey, when did Shaka let his hair?
Well, I learned something very disappointing last night.
Yeah.
It's not for Illinois. They're a fabulous prospect. It's not Cockburn. It's Coburn. Very disappointing.
No.
Yeah.
You tabbed him as Cockburn.
Well, it's spelled Cockburn. I think
you called him Cock.Burn.
No, I never did. I never put a dot in that one. I only did that in a real word. But, yeah, it's Coburn. So, for future reference, we can't Cockburn through the tournament. We're going to have to Coburn.
Well, anyway, this has now alerted me that as I watched
think he did it for
Texas,
one reason, and we all know what it is.
Yeah, as I watch Texas and Kansas play, I'm not prepared at all. You know, I may have Duke as national champions when I fill out the sheet. You know what I mean?
Duke's surging once they got rid of the quitter. The quitter left, and they're going to run all the way to the tournament now.
And Texas down a lot in the first half. And Kansas, by the way, is playing better. They'd won 5 in a row, so suddenly Bill Self is a hero again.
Just to kind of keep you caught up with college basketball.
Yes.
Kansas plays Baylor this week. You might want to watch that one. That'll be a good one on Saturday.
Baylor also, because I was watching Kansas and Texas, got taken to the mat a little bit. They won, but Iowa State ran with them.
Another little-known fact, Iowa State, which has forever been a really solid basketball program, is awful. They're 0-for in the Big 12. So
really?
So that would have been a huge upset had they won that game.
I'm not near prepared yet, and it's coming upon us. We got conference tournaments next weekend, so I better start to dig in a little bit, or I'm going to be the guy who,
does something,
shaving the eyebrow and putting his mustache on his eyebrow or something. No. I don't know what I'm going to do.
The Gators did move up 2 spots in the net rankings.
Joe Lenardi has them in the 8th seed. Going into last night,
they would be right now. They're really firmly inside the 7 line right now as a 27th ranked team. There's not a lot. They're going to have a chance to improve with the Missouri game.
Well, in Kentucky, Kentucky's
down. They're 64.
You don't get the credit for beating Kentucky.
Although Missouri has fallen like a rock.
Missouri lost to Ole
Miss. Yeah,
and Missouri's in danger. Missouri's in danger of missing.
Well, Ole Miss, by the way,
surging.
Yeah, they had a terrible loss to Mississippi State at home over the weekend.
They did?
In great shape. Yeah.
LSU got waxed by Georgia last night.
Yeah, Georgia's a funny team. Florida has their number. They've been really good against everyone but the Gators.
Yeah, so. Florida's certainly.
Missouri, I'm looking at these net rankings. Yeah, Missouri's fallen all the way down to 47, man. So, they'd be on the outside looking in. Georgia's not moving up enough.
Yeah.
Kentucky's up to 64.
And, of course, we'll continue to discuss
Georgia, 83.
The Tiger Woods situation throughout the morning. But, again, in case you missed it overnight, long surgery, rod in one leg, screws and such in these just smashed ankle on the other leg.
There you go. You just watch this. This shows you, okay? Boom. That's a miss, 111, 110. Now watch the defense the Hawks play
the Hawks, the Cavs.
This is unbelievable defense. You ready? You're protecting a 1-point lead. Yeah, nice D. I mean, right down the lane for a dunk. With 4 seconds to go. Now watch my all-star snub.
Okay.
Let's just dribble till the game's over. There we go. Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, dear. That was not good. A good
28-7 and 12 assists, though. Not good enough.
I believe the Cavs have lost like 10 in a row.
Exactly 10 in a row. Correct. Lloyd Pierce, by the way, the worst coaches challenge ever blew the final timeout, or they could have had the ball at half court there and had a chance. But since Lloyd Pierce is the worst coach in the league, and Atlanta won't fire him, and I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
And by the way, literally 8 people listening to this program right now care, and
correct.
A couple of them are my sons.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, here's what we'll do. We got the 8 o'clock hour. We got the Murphy Power Hour coming up at 9 o'clock, so that'll be fun. Daniel will stop by.
You can ask him his thoughts on, did he ever have any kind of uniform arguments with Mr. Met?
Oh, yeah, 99 and 00.
Taiwan Walker apparently can't beat out. It's one thing if you can't beat out another player, but you can't get the uniform number from the mascot. Couldn't they have just made Mr. Met 99?
The world-famous Mr. Met who once flipped off the fans.
Yeah, an icon.
I could have never told you that Mr. Met even had a number. Did you know his number was 00?
I did.
You did.
That's an icon. Who's Taiwan Walker?
I mean, I've spent time with Mr. Met.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know if you would
Mr.
notice
Met fan.
it.
I mean,
I couldn't tell you who.
Something symbolic about that big ball head.
I can't even remember my guy's nickname, the Braves guy.
Well, it used to be until it became politically incorrect.
Chief Nakahoma.
Chief Nakahoma.
Oh, he's been gone for years, though.
Oh.
Chief Nakahoma would literally come out of a teepee and run around in circles doing the hi-ya-ya-ya when the Braves hit a home run. Times have changed.
Don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we can't do that anymore.
What were you going to say, Beef? You lost it.
Did you know that, Beef?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, we had an Indian that we put out in left field in the bleachers.
In Milwaukee,
a Native American.
In Milwaukee, we had a drunk guy sliding
down
the thing.
Apparently, that's okay.
Just with about 18 beers in him.
Actually, it's pronounced Milwaukee.
Thank you.
By the way,
Algonquin for
Chief Nakahoma, I'm pretty sure was legitimate. Like, they didn't just, dress some guy up. He was a...
Well, I don't think the name Nakahoma was legitimate.
Oh, no, for sure not. No, he's more like Rain Dance.
It's his given name. It's not his license.
Yeah.
Bill Nakahoma.
Yeah, no, it's not. Maybe it was. There's a Tommy Nakajima.
There is a Tommy Nakajima.
He has a driver's license. It's like McLovin.
Beef.
What year do you think they...
Nakahoma?
Chief Nakahoma went
2008.
through the 80s. I mean, for sure. His name is Pete Nakona, and he was a chief.
He was a chief. Beef, let's do caller number 3 right now if you want to go see the Eagles live.
And we also had Princess.
Is that correct?
Well, a lot of people don't remember this, but we had Princess Winalada. So Chief Nakahoma and Princess Winalada.
Look, you might as well double down at that point.
They finally retired him before the 1986 season, so ahead of time. From 66 to 85, Chief Nakahoma was there.
So, Beef, 641-1010 right now. Caller number 3 does not get you to the Eagles live?
Well, not the Eagles, but it does get you to a live concert featuring the music of the Eagles from Classic Albums Live coming up April 17th. That's Saturday night at the Florida Theater. Call now, and you can win a pair of tickets on us.